We're going.
Go.
You're live.
Live, all right. Is this thing on?
Is this thing on?
So they'll hear me from here. First things, always wear gloves, right? And this is cleaning at night. So anyway, hi, Roger, Turner Building. My lovely assistant Stephanie is videoing us today. So number one, we put on gloves, right? We don't do anything because this is stuff off the floor. We're going to be going over the auto scrubber. Auto scrubber is a machine instead of mopping. This is a way to clean, right? So it's for great big areas, it's much more efficient. So there's a few things we have to check before we get started. Number one, well, it does three different things. It puts down water, it scrubs, it picks it up. That's it. It's a fancy version of a mop. You put down water, you scrub, you pick it back up. So the very first thing in the front is come down here, Vanna, the pads. These are the cleaning pads. So these come off with a little turn like that. And we want to check the pads. I've already cleaned here a little bit today, so you can see there's some junk, but they're fairly clean. You want to switch these out on a regular basis, but we're not going to switch those out today. So you slide it back under, lift it up, and click it in place. So there's two of them. You check both of them like that. Next, this is the recovery tank. This is where the water comes back into the unit. We want to make sure when you're done, the lid stays like this, so this can air out. When you're ready to clean, the lid goes on. We want to fill it with chemicals, with either, not just water, we want to make sure there's some kind of cleaning chemicals. There's two different places. We can fill it on the front, or there's a lovely hole back here that we can fill it up.
You want to point to that spot again?
Oh.
There we go.
Spot right there to fill it up. So, I have another video where I went over this so you can watch that, how to use this. So basically you take this, you put it in, and you fill it up. How do you know? Oh, good question, Stephanie. How do you know when it's full? There's a sight tube right here. So we can see as the water level goes up, we want to get it up to the very top, then it's full. So when it's full, stop the water, and this back up. Now it's full of chemical ready to use. The squeegee, that's when we pick the water up, pick the solution up off the floor. So this has two little quick releases on it. Slide that into place. Hand tighten. We don't need to be super tight. Just enough for it to stay on. Then here's the hose. That goes on. Now that's ready to go. So how we operate this, several things. It has a key. Make sure you keep the key in it. Turn the key on. Number one. On the panel up front here, the far one on the left is power. Turn that on, it just means there's now power to the unit. We can tell it has a full charge. And as you use it, those will go down all the way down to a red. These other four buttons, we have vacuum. This one is to activate the brushes. It has a little brush symbol. This one is water. That's to activate the water. And you notice they're not on. They do not activate until you actually hit the handles. There's one on this side and one on this side. You can see that light up. And if you can go around the side, once I hit these handles, then the brushes go. So all the switches need to be on once we start. So come back around here, please. So when we're ready to go, brushes are on, the water is on, and we're going to turn on the vacuum. So it's almost ready to go. We got a couple more things. Number one, this release here. You can get in there and show. There it's up. And there we release the squeegee on the floor.
Can you do that one more time? Okay.
So there. Now the squeegee's on the floor, ready to go.
You pulled it towards you, right?
Yep, you can see there's a little latch thing in here. up, and that's down.
Okay.
Over here, there's water. For this unit, you can go a lot of water or very little water. We want to keep it on very little water. And just about the last thing here is, this is the brushes up and down. So if we push that, I can watch the brushes go down.
Yep.
There, once they're on the ground, now we're ready to go. So everything is on, the water is on, we have it filled up with water, and then, oh, one last thing, this is for the drive, how fast it is. It's slow, and we can turn it all the way up to fast. So when we start off, we want to keep it on the low side. And then, hit the, and this will start to move. You can see it's really slow. So I'm going to move this. Now we're clean. So when we're done, I'm going to put the brushes off the floor. We're going to lift them up. There they are. I'm going to take the squeegee off the ground. Like that. So now we're done. So I can turn off the water. I can turn off the brushes. I can turn off the vacuum. And the power altogether I can turn off. Make sure we also turn the key off. But you say, wait a minute, I got to get the unit back over to where the slop sink is. So I can either now pull it, because it's not in here, or I can turn it on, give it power, and this little button right here, this little piggy, if you pull that back and now push the handles, it'll go backwards. The drive will make it go backwards. So I can back it all the way up to the slop sink. I turn it off. And now I want to drain it because I just went and I scrubbed the whole floor. Now I want to drain it. Over here on the right side is the drain hose.
Show me where that goes again.
Just hooks up there.
Okay.
Unhook that. And you don't want to bring it down here to take the cap off. You want to make sure it's up here. There's a lot of water pressure. So we turn the cap like this, and then...
Do that again. One more time. Sorry.
It's just a little quarter turn.
Oh, okay.
Quarter turn comes off, and then we lower this down into the sink, and that's where it drops all the water. Once it's done draining, I put that back up. Are we done? Almost. You want to come around the back here? We take off the hose. Good thing to just put it right there. We loosen these back up. That slides right off. We want to take this, put it in the sink. And now we want to rinse it out. I use hot water. So I just go through, clean it all out, make sure to get all the gunk out. Once I get all the gunk out, I can then leave it here to dry. Ready to use the next time. So, one
last more.
thing. The cover. We want to make sure we take the cover and leave it open, because if there's a lot of dirty water in there left over, it will stink if you leave it overnight and this dirty water sits there. So that's why we leave this open to so the bacteria and the mold and that stuff doesn't grow inside the tank. So keys, everything is off, the power's off, it's ready to go. Thank you very much.
Yay! And the crowd goes wild.